Right now on Fox 5 News, artificial intelligence at work.
The AI will learn his voice.
In our hospitals.
We're going from tissue that we take out to genetics in the operating room in just 2 minutes.
And even our courts.
This technology is finally at a place where it can play a role in the practice of law.
The excitement.
Let's share it with the world.
And the fears.
We should be scared to death.
Fox 5 presents AI and Beyond.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Natasha Verma.
And I'm Steve Lacey. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. From the recommendations we get on Netflix to the navigation apps on our phones, AI has been a part of our daily lives for years now.
But the sudden rise of chatbots like Bard and ChatGPT is raising new questions about the technology and the pace at which it's developing. Even though it's led to significant advancements in industries like healthcare, there are also urgent warnings about what AI means for the economy, our elections, and overall public safety.
Chris Welch takes a closer look.
I thought the public deserved to know that a lot of experts in recent months have shifted their opinions about AI.
Dan Hendricks is the director of the Center for AI Safety, a nonprofit that published a letter back in May warning that AI could pose an existential threat to humanity. It was signed by more than 350 experts in the field.
So that's what we put together in the letter to make sure that people would know that there is a potential risk of human extinction from later stage versions of AI models, and that we need to address this and treat it like a global priority, just like we treat pandemics as a global priority and nuclear war as a global priority. AI needs to enter that category.
Among those signing the statement, the CEO of OpenAI, maker of ChatGPT, Sam Altman. He also took the warning to Capitol Hill.
My worst fears are that we cause significant harm to the world. If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong, and we want to be vocal about that. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening.
There are certainly risks associated with this technology, just like any other.
Reggie Townsend specializes in data ethics. He's also a member of the White House Advisory Committee on Artificial Intelligence.
Now, certainly when smart people say that there are dire consequences, I have to have an open mind. I have to listen and hear people out. I've not been convinced yet that the existential concerns are worth the level of attention and amplification that they've gotten at this point in time.
Townsend says he agrees there are risks we need to take into account, but he thinks we should focus on present dangers.
Things like bias in data that produces results that impact people today in healthcare settings and financial services settings, in justice and public safety settings.
I'm worried about the people who are being denied mortgages, denied home loans because AI systems are biased against borrowers of color.
Meredith Broussard is an associate professor at NYU, a data journalist, and author of More Than a Glitch, Confronting Race, Gender, and Ability Bias in Tech.
I am worried about the applications of AI in education. So I'm less worried about things that are going to happen in the far future, and I'm really worried about what's happening now.
Another more immediate threat, so-called deep fakes, images, videos, or audio recordings generated by AI.
We have seen how algorithmic biases can perpetuate discrimination and prejudice.
Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal demonstrated just how convincing these deep fakes can be during a Senate hearing.
And how the lack of transparency can undermine public trust. That voice was not mine. The words were not mine. And the audio was an AI voice cloning software trained on my floor speeches.
We're already seeing this type of fake content being used in political campaigns.
Things like disinformation and how AI might be used as a tool to amplify propaganda and such.
Its potential impacts on the upcoming election. I think even trying to address that will be very difficult.
The White House says it's getting ready to unveil several policy actions regarding artificial intelligence. In one recent development, companies including Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft have agreed to a series of safeguards proposed by the administration, and the United Nations Security Council just held its first ever meeting on the threats posed by AI to global peace.
We're going to need international coordination. We don't want to be racing against the UK and China and Russia in building AI systems and weaponizing them. That could make us have a repeat of the nuclear arms race in the past.
But despite these challenges, there is optimism. Experts we spoke with say education is key, and they're urging everyone to learn more about artificial intelligence.
I really think that it's important that we instead give people a greater sense for the hope and control that they can have over this technology and working with this technology.
We're members of a democracy. We can speak up. We can communicate with the lawmakers and say, listen, we need regulation now. We don't need to be scared of technology.
Chris Welch, Fox 5 News.